Al and Jerry. Don't worry, it's only an hour long, and most days it doesn't
All right, here we
suck.
go. We start a new week. It's 5:02. What do you say? The Eddie Schizzeri, good to see you as always. Hope you had a nice weekend. Across from me is Al, Jason, and Dukes. I know he had a good weekend because the weather didn't suck, and he's down in the Jersey Shore. So what's up?
That's true, Jerry. Good morning. That Mets a home opener feels like it was 2 weeks ago.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Right?
Yes, I agree. Because all the basketball that happened over the weekend, if you care or not, certainly for me at least took precedence yesterday. But you're right. Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock seemed like a week ago.
Yeah, because then you also have the Saturday and Sunday baseball games, and then the other sports, Jerry. It was a big sports weekend at my house.
It was. Did you enjoy the hail in Baltimore?
I did see the hail.
That was wild.
Yeah, I don't like hail.
No, hail's frightening. Although one of the Yankee guys walking off the field with his mouth open, trying to catch the hail in his mouth.
It'd knock your tooth right out.
Yes, it might have. So that was pretty. It was a wild weekend.
Why does the weather give us ice cubes falling down upon us?
But get ready for tonight. Supposed to get some wild weather late this afternoon into this evening.
Oh, good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I don't walking a dog in this.
You might be.
Come on, Jerry.
Take the dog out about 4 o'clock. You'll be okay. I'm hearing around 5.
I got to
teach what I heard on
this,
winds.
This dog how to use a toilet. I've seen cats use a toilet.
Litter box.
Well, I know the cats use the litter box, but there are cats that have been taught to use a toilet.
I have seen that. In Meet the Fockers, the cat uses the toilet.
They like squat over the toilet, and then they even know how to flush the toilet.
It's a bit much.
I mean, that's awesome.
Well,
I'm surprised we don't teach dogs
good with
to
the litter
do
box.
that.
I don't need my cat on the toilet bowl.
Or to go into for your animals to climb into your bathtub. Use that as a bathroom. When you come home, you wash it down.
No, stop. You can't do that. And nor would you enjoy that. You
I wouldn't
imagine you
enjoy
go and
it.
you have a big load in your in the bathtub. Come on, man.
Sure.
But you started it. That was your idea, not mine. And then you got to get in it to shower. Come on, man.
That's true. That's where you want to go and get clean.
What
You don't want.
terrible thought you just had.
All right, I'm sorry. Listen, sometimes
Or you could rethink it and, I don't know, not get a dog.
there are no. Well, unfortunately, that's too late. There are no bad ideas, Jerry. It was just a brainstorming session. You've shot it down. It makes complete sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the Nets lost yesterday.
Hell of a
Jerry.
game. Killer loss. What a great game, though.
Yeah, they lost the last second.
They did. Again, great shot by Tatum falling away from the basket.
So is Gio wearing a leprechaun costume today? He says he is.
I think so.
That'd be silly.
It's embarrassing.
That was a little embarrassing. This is coming from a man who dresses up as Batman, too, by the way. It's a little embarrassing.
Do what he wants. Let him wear it every day.
But I see Kyrie was fighting the fans again in Boston.
They give it to him like you cannot believe.
Yeah, I'm on Team Kyrie on this one. These NBA fans, we've now seen it
out of control.
First of all, since the Malice at the Palace, and then they calmed down for a little while.
Yeah.
But since the pandemic hit and they were allowed back in buildings, they're nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
More so than ever.
Because NBA ticket is a very expensive ticket.
Very.
You can't go in there. So you would think people, I don't know, I guess I think people with money have a little more decorum. They don't.
They don't. No, they don't.
They don't.
No.
And so I don't mind Kyrie flipping off the Boston fans, giving him the double finger.
Especially the way he did it.
Yeah. He did those like behind his head.
I thought it was fun. I like the crying.
Yeah.
Then he was funny.
Screaming things at them too.
Yeah. And playing great.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's enough of you NBA fans. The players are fighting back, but then looking at it the opposite way, they're clearly getting to him as well.
But
I feel like
they are and they aren't. So to me, they're getting to him if he shoots 2 of 12 and he's doing all this stuff.
All right.
He had 18 points in the fourth quarter yesterday.
Oh, so he
took over the game at one point. You could make the case he thrives with this. So to me, you want to say they got in his head? Okay, get in his head more.
So if you were
God, did he play well,
Jerry? If you were in charge of Boston fans and you were indeed a Boston Celtic fan, would you tell the fans?
You're never going to tell the fans not to.
Not to ride Kyrie because it's hurting you?
No, they won the game.
Oh, it's true.
They won the game. Now, it wasn't easy, and the play they made at the end was spectacular. It really was. And the fake on the 3 to get the 2 guys to fly at and then cut through him, then to have the cutter spin, catch as he's falling away from the basket and lay it in. That was it really was a hell of a play. This was Kyrie afterwards where he basically says, I've had enough of these people.
It's not every fan. I don't want to attack every fan, every Boston fan, but, when people start yelling and bitch and you and all this stuff, there's but so much you can take.
What did they say, Jerry, to him? They said boop and boop and boop.
They called him a wussy.
A wussy, okay.
A rich.
Okay.
And a mother bleeper.
Well, we throw these. At least fans get to stay there and be yelling these things. You can't yell profanities at games.
Apparently you can. Have you not been to a game?
It's been a while.
I mean, and Boomers talks about this all the time. What's worse is when they yell this stuff at the college kids.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad enough, but he makes $40 million a year. Deal with it. However you have to deal with it, deal with it.
Well, basketball's
worse in college.
It's so weird, too, that you're right there.
Yeah.
You're not like wearing a helmet like you do in football. You know what I mean? Like, you are right there. You have no padding on. It's just you're in your short shorts and your tank top.
Yeah. And you're inbounding the ball with people literally 3 feet from you, if not closer, sometimes on the sideline. When you're right, in football, as vulgar as a football crowd might be, at any point you're on the field, there's no one within 30 yards of you. So I don't know what you would hear other than noise. Basketball is quite intimate.
Right. In football, you could even just keep your helmet on and pretend you don't hear them.
Of course.
Even if you do hear them.
And no one's going to see you unless the camera's got a close-up on your face. And no one's going to see the facial expressions or anything.
And baseball's so calm for the most part. They're not even.
But yeah, baseball is different because baseball is a calmer sport, but it's quieter at times where you really can say something. But I feel like in baseball, if you say something like that and it's quiet, they will usher you out.
Yeah.
It seems, I don't know, baseball seems a little bit, basketball is the one sport where it is nuts.
Like, I feel like A-Rod got a lot of this
Sure.
when he had the steroid situation, and he would go places, people would yell at him. Remember, they had the fake, the blow-up needles. They were wearing masks, Madonna masks, or whatever the heck they were doing.
I am not saying baseball can't be brutal. It can, especially when you play, like in Boston, third base is so close. Like, if you played the old Candlestick Park or you play in Oakland, you could be on the field and be, 30, 40 feet away from the stands. These tighter ballparks, I'm sure he could hear everything when he was over there at third base.
Seems like Boston's the problem, Jerry.
Well, Boston doesn't have a great reputation.
Bunch of punks up there.
Boston does not have a great reputation.
I'd love to go up. I'd love to go up there and give them a piece of my mind. See how they like that. I'll call them all those words and give them the finger.
When do you want to do this? Want to go Wednesday? I can get you in the building for $190. Worst seat in the house.
I can't make it up there Wednesday, Jerry.
Can't go Wednesday. What if you took off Thursday?
Well, I'm already off Thursday and Friday. I'm going to go see the Lemonheads in Jersey City.
All right, well, that's cool.
That's more my speed, Jerry.
To your point, real quick, about the ticket prices.
Yeah.
For 2 tickets, the walk-in price
for Wednesday evening,
for Wednesday night in Boston, is $216 plus taxes and fees. You're looking at about $245 a ticket.
It's quite a night.
So it's $500
$245 a ticket?
A ticket.
I don't have that kind of cash.
So you're
Jerry.
talking $490 just to walk in.
No wonder why people are screaming up there. You pay all the money to get in, you're freaked out. You start screaming.
I believe there are probably those that do think that. I paid this money, I can say what I want.
Right.
And they can.
And then I'll get on videotape and people can yell at me. I also see these fans are the one woman the other night tried to glue herself to the court.
Did someone chain themselves to the hoop?
Yeah, now.
How do you get the chain in the building?
I don't know. Good question, Jerry. How do you get a chain in the building to chain yourself to the where they chain themselves
to the hoop? I thought.
Yeah. As again, people are mad at the the Timberwolves owner?
How does security allow that to happen?
How about this? Look for the person wearing the Glenn Taylor Roasts Animals Alive t-shirts and pat them down. Right? How did she get a chain in there?
I have no idea. I don't know. Inside job. I don't know.
And then so quick to chain herself.
Yeah. Like security didn't notice that she was walking right past them towards the court.
Let's keep an eye on this woman wearing a Glenn Taylor Roasts Animals Alive t-shirt. She looks like she could be trouble.
My God.
This is what I'm saying about the fans, Jerry. You got they're cursing out Kyrie. They're chaining themselves to the basket. They're gluing themselves to the floor.
I think we're getting closer and closer to a wall being put up.
Oh, I would love that.
The way you have in hockey.
Yeah.
Now, hockey, you have to have the boards because of the nature of the sport, and I get it, and the glass and all that. I think you're going to get to a point where there's going to have to be some sort of space between the players, even if you put the media there. I told you, at the NCAA tournament, the media's got the first 3 or 4 rows on the floor. At least this was in Dayton, not the whole tournament, but in Dayton, the front row there was a lot of radio. Then the back 2 rows was print media, and then it was up like a little bit of probably 2 steps up is where the crowd actually began. Still loud, still vocal, still very close to the court, but not right on the floor.
Or let each player punch one fan.
Who was the one that said to do that? Was that a football guy?
What, to let players?
Or was that Barkley or Shaq? Who was that?
I thought probably Barkley.
Might have been. Who, by the way, got on Kyrie for, saying and doing what he did. Because I thought he was one that said we should be allowed to punch these guys in the face.
Yes,
at half court.
It was Barkley.
I thought so.
And he was getting mad at Kyrie for?
For being too
Why?
sensitive. You know what? I didn't put it in the system yet. I just found it. They were on TNT. I guess it was halftime of, I forget which game it was. Maybe it was, I don't know, whatever game they were doing. They were setting the game up, and then at halftime, they reacted to Kyrie's comments and whatever. And, Shaq was talking about how brutal it is in Boston.
Yeah.
Certainly understands it, but you got to let it go. And then Barkley's like, man up, these current day athletes. But he was the one that said punch him in the face.
Right.
So a little consistency would be nice.
And what about KD, Jerry? He only had 23 points.
He struggled with a shot.
That doesn't seem like
I thought Boston's game plan was pretty good. I mean, they suffocated him. Double teams came left and right. But when you got Kyrie doing what he was doing, Nick Claxton played well, although he missed 2. I mean, it was 2 minutes to go in the game, but at that time he missed 2 big free throws, but he played well. So they got Goran Dragic played well. But yeah, it was Kyrie's game in the fourth quarter.
I hope they don't glue Kyrie to the floor on Wednesday night because we need him, Jerry.
Or chain him to the hoop.
Or chain him to the hoop. If you chain him to the hoop and glue him to the floor, he's not going to be a factor in that game.
You know what sucked was if you were watching the game and wanted the Nets to win, as I did.
I did as well.
So they've got the lead late. They were, whatever it was, up by 2 with the ball. I guess, was it 2 with the ball? Or they were up 3. And then, so Boston gets the 2. Brooklyn misses. Boston comes back and wins it. The timeout prior to that sequence, and the Nets have the lead. Steve Nash is as fired up as I've ever seen him fired up. And, I kind of felt like at that point, they're going to take his lead. They're going to go finish this out. They didn't.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Nets. You know why? The Knicks have sucked for so long, and people still are like, the Nets, no one cares about the Nets. The Knicks run this town. The Knicks don't run this town anymore, Jerry.
The Knicks, listen, the Knicks are the more popular team, but they are not the better team, and haven't been for a long time.
And says who they're the more popular team, based on what?
The amount of fans they have.
Locally.
Yes.
Nationally, Nets.
Nationally, it's the Nets, for sure. I mean, if you look at it really is remarkable how I guarantee you every national sports show today, and I'm sure Boomer and Gio will start with it too, but every national sports show today will start with Nets Celtics. I don't know how you couldn't. The game was awesome.
Would you say the Nets are a top 5 team nationally?
No, I don't know about that because you've got if you
top 10, you definitely
top 10 probably because of Kyrie and Durant. Probably, yeah, that's possible. But you got so many, national football teams now.
Yeah,
even baseball. People follow the Red Sox all over the place, and the teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees always will be. So I don't know. They're definitely up there.
It was cool growing up, Jerry. You could follow the Atlanta Braves because we had TBS on our cable.
We did. We had Turner
and WGN.
With the Cubs.
A lot of cable had that. You could watch the Cubs.
That is true. I think that's still the case, is it not? Not with the Braves, I don't think, but I think with the Cubs, no?
I don't know. WGN's not on a lot of cable anymore. No. It used to be when it was a quote-unquote superstation. It was on all the cable things.
Yeah.
What a great idea. That
you don't have cable anymore. How do you know?
Well, from when I had cable, it's not available. But what a great idea by that Ted Turner back in the day. Put the Braves on cable. Now they're like America's team.
That never really caught.
What?
They were never America's team.
They were to me, Jerry.
People might have liked Dale Murphy. They were
Dale
not
Murphy,
America's
Bob
team.
Horner.
Bob Horner.
Glenn Hubbard.
Bob Horner, he was in shape.
He didn't have to be in shape back then.
No, he didn't. And you know what? He probably never got hurt. Oh, by the way.
Chris Chambliss. I'm going to try to go around the infield, Jerry.
Look, I love
Chris Chambliss.
Yeah.
Glenn Hubbard. Rafael Ramirez. Bob Horner. Dale Murphy. Claudel Washington.
Oh, I forget about him.
and I forget who their other outfielder was.
I just had a thought. We're going to DJ's Memorial Day weekend Friday. I am going to, I'll do it during one of my segments. We are going to have an Al versus blank, someone in the crowd, 1980s baseball trivia.
Bring it.
And we'll see if someone can beat you.
Bring it.
I will have some fun with someone that's there. All right, we're going to take a break. 5:17, just getting started. It is a Monday morning in the city. We got Boomer and Gio coming up at 6 on the Fan.